One company is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Sounds like a big number, doesn't it? Not to Express Employment Professionals. Maybe you're a skilled welder, or you're an expert in logistics and distribution. We take pride in connecting the right people with the right company. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Express is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year.
Welcome to Business Real, and we are really happy that you've joined us today because we are in Wilson at Performance Heating and Cooling Incorporated. We've got Connie Batten, who is our guest. Her husband Stuart has worked here from the beginning, but he is not here, so you are going to represent him and you because you're working here too. And of course, Christy Taylor, Express Employment Professionals. This company is really expanding, Connie, and we see vans all over in a fairly wide geographic area. But I think it's important for us to talk about where you came from. In 1993, your husband and Thomas Linden were co-workers?
Yes.
Tell us what happened, how they decided to go off on their own and start their own business.
They just decided that they want to start their own company. And they started out real small in
I think behind Stuart's parents' house or something?
Shop. With just a few tools and
had they both been in the business before?
They had both worked together previously. And Thomas had mostly done sales and Stuart did service.
Well, that's quite a leap of faith to start your own company.
Oh yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I was really nervous.
We're an entrepreneurial area of the state, I think, and a lot of that dates back to banking. We've got competitive banks, and they like to encourage people, but that is, as Christy knows, being in the employment business, a real challenge for people to say, okay, especially probably with a young family, we're going, go out on our own. And that went along, and did they grow pretty steadily from 1993 to 2006?
Yeah, they ended up getting another place downtown in Wilson and rented for a while. Then moved to a little bit bigger place and rented for a while until they finally were able to build the business here.
And this is where the actual physical location you've been for a while?
Yes. I can't remember what year. But we started with the one building next door, and then we ended up buying this building.
And tell us what happened in 2006.
Thomas and his wife were killed in a plane crash.
That had to be, as much of a family as y'all were, that had to just really be a struggle.
Yeah, it was the hardest thing we've ever been through.
And at that time, Stuart was doing what part of the business? And Thomas
he was doing service, and Thomas was doing all the new construction. So they had to flip-flop things around, and Stuart had to start doing all the new construction, and we had to put somebody else in the service department, and it was just a really bad struggle for a while.
Wow. And did you come at that time to start working for the company? Are you
Shortly
full-time?
after that, no.
What do you do, Connie?
I try not to be. Well, I help up front with the phones, and I help with the safety part of the business. And now I've kind of moved into the marketing part of the business. And
Well, and Christy can really speak to the importance of the people who answer the phone from your perspective.
It is. Connie, when we came in, the lady who met us at the front door had the best personality of anybody I've ever met, and she was so friendly, and she brought us over here, and then we needed to go back to the other building for a minute, so she took us back there, and she just was so friendly and so nice. And Chris has to be one of the nicest guys that I've ever met.
And that's Chris Sharon, who's going to join us for the second half.
Right, and a couple of the guys, drove by and waved and blew the horn. People at Performance it just seems to be a great atmosphere, and that everybody gets along, and that it's a good culture. How do you work here in Wilson? What is your culture? How do you help in the Wilson community?
What, as far as
Like in the chamber or?
we are a member of the Chamber of Commerce. We
It sounds like you
Provide
just
a
work
lot of
really hard
jobs, too.
providing the service.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of service in Wilson and surrounding counties, but and we try to participate as far as helping out different golf tournaments.
Okay.
You know, church chicken plates
Okay.
and a lot of
You gotta
stuff like
feed
that.
your guys.
School stuff, yeah, different things with the schools.
Very cool.
And we have gotten the impression from reading about you, and of course, love your magazine. I wonder what your involvement has been with that. Did you do that with your marketing?
Yes,
The
but
Comfort Zone?
Yeah, we had a company out of Florida that we worked with for that, but
Well-
that was a lot of
A lot of
time
work.
and yeah.
Well, and in reading that, and Christy, I'm sure I speak for you, honey, we can tell that you're a company that really cares about your employees tremendously, are always trying to make sure that everybody is really well trained and up to date.
Oh yeah, they're always going to classes to stay up to date on stuff.
And I noticed too that you're members of the ACCA, the Air Conditioning Contractors of America. That's very much of a standards-based organization, isn't it?
Yes, Chris could tell you really more about that than I could.
Okay, well, and it says here that it's a group of over 4,000 air conditioning contractors who work together to improve industry, promote good practices, keep homes safe and buildings safe, clean, and comfortable. It's the largest association of HVACR contractors and the preferred service provider for members in all 50 states worldwide. The certification too of your technicians, y'all work hard to make sure they get the training they need.
And we go, there's at least once a year, we'll go to meetings on the ACCA. And they have different vendors and stuff there.
And something I was interested in the book that had nothing to do with heating and air conditioning was the coconut cake.
Oh.
Was that
yeah.
Was that your recipe, or did you
Yes.
borrow it? Or
Yes.
and is it wonderful?
Yes, it is very good and very easy to make.
Is it?
We might have to
yeah.
link that to this
I was gonna say,
program
and if I
so
come
people
tomorrow,
can
will
get
you bring
it.
me a piece of coconut
It
cake?
is funny, out of everything in the magazine, I've had more people say stuff to me about the coconut cake than anything.
Well,
but it's-
that way you know people are looking at it.
Yeah,
That way you know
yeah.
people. What else do you think would you like people to know about performance? If you had to sell it, if you had to say, "Gosh, I'm in marketing, and this is what people need to know about me."
Both your service and for future employees. Why is this a good place to work? And tell us about the atmosphere here.
Well, I think one thing we do, like we have a guy right now in the service department that we are sending to Wilson Community College to get his certification. So we're paying for his school for him to learn and be able to come work for us. And like I said, we're forever sending them to classes and keeping them trained. And we try to make it a good place to work. I mean, and we do stay really busy. The guys stay busy. We try to offer the best customer service we can. We have little things we give them every time we go, little questionnaires for them to fill out, say if there's anything they're happy with or not happy with that we need to address, and we try to keep our customers
Customers
really
or the people you send out?
the guys we send out give the customers.
Give to the customer, good, because I was going to say it's
The
important though for you to get feedback
questionnaire.
from your employees too, to be sure, because I am certain that the repeat business is really a huge
Oh,
part.
yeah.
What part of your business is maintenance and upkeep as far as annual checkups? I noticed in the book that you highly encourage people to get
Oh, yeah.
their products serviced, even if it doesn't seem like anything's wrong.
Yeah. We call them energy savings agreements, and it's where we'll go out twice, like in the spring to service the air conditioner, in the fall to service the heating system. And it's a very reasonable price as far as compared to going out one time to do a cleaning and service. And we come out and clean the system and service the system, change filters, and we offer different little perks with that as far as if you have to call us after hours, if you have that agreement with us, you don't have to pay an overtime rate. You just pay a
Wow.
regular rate. You get a 15% discount on parts. You're considered more priority, like on a really busy first cold, first hot day of the year, and we could have up to 50 calls, and we do try to prioritize and make those
And
priority.
you do work in Rocky Mount.
Yes.
And you have a business card.
Yes. We do a lot of work in Rocky Mount, Nashville.
That's amazing because every time something happens with air conditioning, it takes me 4, 5, 6 days to get somebody. So I'm serious.
really?
I'm going to get your business card because it sounds like Performance Services, the whole area, the Tri-County area. It sounds like they take care of us.
And I love that you're members of the State Board of Heating Contractors, State Board of Refrigeration Examiners, the Chamber of Commerce, your Better Business Bureau. So y'all take very seriously holding yourself to high standards, don't you?
Yes.
Well, great. And now I have to ask you, because you said a baby was born when y'all started the business in 1993. Do you have any children who are going into the business?
No, we have 2 girls, and
Girls
one's a
are good, aren't
teacher,
they,
and the
Chris?
other wants to be a nurse. So.
Well, you've got a great team, though. About how many employees do you have?
Right now, I think it's around 42.
Totally. That's a lot of jobs you're providing in the community.
Really, this year we added a lot of people. We had a really great year, and we have added a lot of people, new
And
employees.
that's really good news, so congratulations. We're going to take a break, and Chris Sharon is going to be joining us. He's your service manager, and I think he's been with y'all quite a while too, hasn't
Oh,
he?
yes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Richard Koss, Pharmacy Manager at Allman's Drug Store at the Westridge Shopping Center. Here with my wife, daughters, and my business partner Brad Hilton and his wife Katie. We are delighted to be new business owners living in Rocky Mount and are excited about the new services and products we are adding at Allman's Drug Store's 2 locations. With a full-service pharmacy, a large supply of over-the-counter supplements, and a comprehensive line of diabetic supplies, Allman's has you covered. Our pharmacists also specialize in consultations. We want you to pay the lowest prices and get the best service in town, and our staff works hard to help you save money, but we are also big on friendliness and customer care. We will deliver your prescriptions free, have drive-through windows, and guarantee short wait times. And we come out to greet you personally and see how we can answer all of your questions. Because as local business owners, we care about you. As a loyal member of your community for over 70 years, you can count on Allman's Drugs to make the health of you and your family our top priority.
Please call Almonds Drugs today.
443-3138.
Finding the right employee can be demanding. From recruiting to interviews, Express Employment Professionals does the work for you. We get to know your business and who you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for skilled labor. Maybe you need a new executive to join your team. Find qualified people and support using Express for all of your staffing needs. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Express is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year.
Hi, and welcome back to Business Real. Hi, Chris. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Okay, great. Jean, you want to ask Chris?
Absolutely. We love the magazine that we were reading, the premier issue of Comfort Zone. Chris, what I learned from this is you all engage in a wide variety of types of service, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of run through some of those. I mean, I even saw geothermal in here. You give great tips in the publication about things to look out for, frequency of servicing. Help us know the scope of the different types of products you install in people's houses and the type of work you do through service.
We do residential, commercial, schools, clinics. We do quite a range of stuff. And
Is there a limit to how big or small the job you'll take?
not really.
Okay, so you don't just do small commercial, you'll do any size commercial.
We do quite a lot.
And how many employees do you oversee in the service area?
I think I have 8 or 10.
And what geographic area do you cover?
We anywhere
County-wise?
from Raleigh to the coast.
Oh, okay. And I've heard, Christy, that from Sandra and Bobby, that they're really becoming more and more prevalent in the Rocky Mount area too. So your footprint seems to be expanding.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Are you hiring more people to accommodate?
Yeah.
Well, that's Christy's with Express Employment, her thing. What do you look for when you hire somebody?
Somebody that's willing to work, somebody that will come to work, good job skills, customer skills, NATE certification, EPA certification.
And I was going to kind of ask you a little bit about that, Chris. I know that when we've looked for people in HVAC, that we go to the community colleges to try to get the skills. is that how you started? But I don't know if then you have to have an internship. If I wanted
Well-
to come to work here, besides my great personality, what do I actually need to be able to do, and what certifications do I need?
The basic certification is the EPA certification, which allows you to handle refrigerants.
Okay.
And then the next step would be like the NATE certification, which actually specializes each type: gas, oil, heat pumps. So they
Okay.
have individual specifications.
Okay. How do I get my EPA certification?
Technical training.
Okay.
They've got some of them are online.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? Okay. And then the NATE.
The NATE is it's a thing that I send a technician to a class. They prepare them, then they do the exam.
Okay. And how do you decide which technicians? How do you even decide somebody has the personality or the skills to be a technician? Because I'm sure I would break everything I touched.
Well, you gotta fill them out. You know, they work with you for a while, then you can tell who wants to progress and who just wants to ride along.
Do you have interns? Because we were talking on an earlier show about how some companies will allow the school system to send people and let them get an idea.
I do have one guy that is sort of an intern. He goes to the community college 4 days or 3 days out of the week, and then he works with me for 2 days out of the week.
And is the thought that if he does well, you're going to hire him full time when he finishes?
Yes, ma'am.
I would think in your business, though, a lot of what you do, people could mess up pretty easily.
Oh yeah,
I mean, is that understatement?
yeah, it happens.
And ongoing training because the products that you're working with are constantly evolving?
That's correct. In the fall and in the spring, Train offers a update, and I send my technicians for their new updates and their fall training, service training for the new equipment.
Well, are you finding plenty of people who want to go into this field, or do you have trouble really finding the caliber and quality of employee that you want?
Well, it's kind of, there's a lot of people that want to do it until they get in this field, and then they, see what it takes, the hours that they have to put in, and kind of weed them out pretty quick.
And we waited for you, quite frankly. You weren't here, but we understood, because when you get on a job, you can't say,
You
I'll
can't
be there
foresee,
X amount of time, right?
what's going to happen, or an issue that an employee is having at that job.
Do you normally send like a team out or several people?
Yeah, on the install, we're sending a crew, 2 or 3 people to do the install. My service guys, most of them are solo.
And how do you determine, Chris, which products you carry? I noticed you mentioned Train and that they have an annual update and retraining to help you become current with their latest products. But do you rep a lot of different companies or a lot of different equipment?
Not far as air conditioning products, we're a Train authorized dealer, so that's what we try to stick with.
And do you have to sell a certain amount or accomplish a certain amount of ongoing training in order to qualify to be a Train? I think you're a Train comfort dealer or something
That's
like
correct.
that. What does that mean?
My service guys, like I was telling about the updates, they have to go through a certain amount to keep up with what Train has to offer.
Coach, we were talking a little bit about, you said people having what it takes, and you said when they start working here and they really want to work here and then they find out the long hours. What other things do you think, hate to look at negatives, but if somebody's looking at a job and wants to come to work at Performance, we want them to have a full picture. So what are some of the good things and some of the bad things about working here?
Well, the whole thing is they're going to be outside in the heat,
Okay.
in the snow, in the rain,
Okay.
under a house, on a roof.
Okay.
But, as far as the good, they're getting experience, they're learning every day, they're learning.
Okay.
And you're not stuck in an office and there's
That's
variety.
correct.
Yes.
So a
They're
lot of
seeing
people.
something new every day is something new.
Okay. Good. And I would assume as you get trained and learn more and get more certifications, that it ends up being a pretty good paying, a pretty good
yeah.
lucrative job.
Yeah,
Okay.
the pay is pretty good.
Okay. All right. What's the furthest that you've traveled to put in a unit?
We've done, it's a little place up close to the mountains toward Virginia. I
Okay.
forget that. It's a little small little county.
Okay. I'm always interested to see where jobs end up taking people.
Are you seeing more people looking for energy efficiency in everything they
Yeah,
do?
that's the thing now. Everybody wants to get the most efficient that they can get, for cheaper utilities.
And heat pumps have do you sell heat pumps?
We sell heat pumps.
They've really evolved, haven't they,
Oh, yeah.
from the early ones? And geothermal, I saw in your catalog that y'all are you just getting into that? Or have you
We've
done-
actually been doing geothermal for quite a few years.
And for people who might not know, explain what that is. please.
Basically, we're taking heat out of the ground, putting it in the house. It's through heat exchange.
And so there's a constant underground all the time, so you don't have extremes of having to heat it
Yeah.
way much or cool it way much, right?
Yeah, it's a constant 65 to 70 degrees.
Where does it usually come from?
The atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah, and you
That
pay to
usually
heat
come from
whatever's
the
in the atmosphere. If
Okay.
it's really cold, then you got to heat it a lot. And in the in the wintertime, if it's really hot in the summer, then
I
it
love
takes a
that.
lot
So
of energy
we're
to cool
just
it.
extracting heat in the winter, and we're rejecting heat in the summer back in the ground.
That's pretty fascinating.
Your company philosophy seems to be that y'all really value your reputation. I noticed that you encourage people to toot the horn and wave when they see your vans riding around, and y'all are members of the Chamber and the Better Business Bureau and whatnot. Talk from your perspective about the culture here of really being very cognizant of being a business and that you earn people's business and keep it.
Well, you have to stand behind your product and provide a good service. 'Cause there's flood of other contractors that will come in, right behind you and do the work. So
In the service, what is a significant amount of what you do servicing stuff you've already put out there
there's a lot of it.
compared to installation of new stuff? What about repeat business? How are y'all on repeat business?
We're pretty good on repeat business. We try to keep our customers, keep them happy. And that's the whole thing. If you keep them happy, more than likely you'll have a long customer.
Yeah, people want to know that they know the person and they care about them
That's
and that
right.
they're going to be there when you call.
On our maintenance customers, they're calling the fall and the spring, and they're asked for a specific technician every time.
Yeah, that's neat.
And how long have you worked for the company, Chris?
This March will be 18 years.
Wow.
Did you say 18 years?
18.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing.
Good testimony for it's a good place to work.
Absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
and did you start in a different position and work to be head of service?
I started as a helper,
Huh.
a service technician's helper.
And now you're the head of service?
Yep,
That's great.
Absolutely.
Shows the company promotes from within.
that's right.
Positively. And it shows you got to want to work.
That's right.
Well, Chris, thank you. Appreciate your
That's no problem.
visiting with us today and sharing great information about your company.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
And thank you. We'll see you next week.
One company is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Sounds like a big number, doesn't it? Not to express employment professionals. Maybe you're a skilled welder, or you're an expert in logistics and distribution. We take pride in connecting the right people with the right company. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Express is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year.